Slip into fun all summer long at the Southern Pines Waterpark. Open Monday through Friday 10 till 6, Saturday and Sunday 8 till 6. The weather is hot, so cool off today in the lazy river, the splash pool, or the 6-lane lap pool. Or squill into fun with the 20-foot water slide. Grab the kids, grab the family, and head on out to the Southern Pines Waterpark in Dublin.
All right, we're back with Renee with CSB for you and me. And we're talking about our APEX program today. So our APEX program is given the behavioral health needs within the school systems. So let's talk about how do we get children enrolled or started with our APEX programs. Okay? So what's the first step? You need to go talk to?
Usually how it goes, usually the teacher might have a concern. They'll get with the school counselor and pretty much say kids having depression issues, or say a kid just can't sit still in class. You
Right.
know, he's always up and down, moving around, and falling asleep in class, anything like that. So what we do, we have an APEX referral process where the teacher will write down what's going on with the kid, what grade he's in, and parent information. And I usually tell them to reach out to the parent and let them know, hey, we're referring them to this.
Right, the school counselor could contact the parents too, and
so they
just
can let them know,
what's
so it
going
won't be no just us calling, hey, we're trying to schedule intake, like what's going on. So once they do that, they'll know, okay, you need to call Building 4 to speak with Cambry or Miss Bridget to schedule an intake. So usually what they do, once they do that, I return the APEX referral form to Miss Connie Smith. And once I get the APEX referral form to Miss Connie Smith, she'll get it forward for we can get an intake schedule. So I go to the school and do intake. So like I say, some parents don't want to feel comfortable coming up here sometimes. So
Right.
what I do, I was like, all right, you need me to come to the school, I'll do that. But some people don't have transportation, so we can't get nothing scheduled around the time because their kids or anything. Sometimes I go to the home and do the intake as well. So yeah, once we do that, get them scheduled in, intake, gather all the information. We do a treatment plan to get goals set up and all that, get them through treatment engagement so they'll be able to get the services added that either be in therapy with me or just CSI with Miss Valerie or service for Clubhouse, you know.
Yeah,
so,
we've seen the Clubhouse.
So, yeah,
It's
yeah,
nice.
So
if you know that your child needs the help, you can talk to your teacher or school counselor, and we'll do the coordinating on our end and get in touch back with the parent. And like he said, we'll come to your home. We'll meet you at the school. You can come up here to Building 4. There's multiple ways in different areas that we can meet to get the paperwork started. Now, what if you don't have insurance on your baby yet?
well, Ashley will help you get insurance. as
So
well.
money is not an issue.
Yeah.
Money is not the issue. We want to help address the needs, and we'll figure that out, which we've said in a lot of our episodes. So every staff you talk to, money is not the issue. We will help figure that part out, okay? So talk to your school counselor, talk to your teacher, and then we'll just start coordinating back with them and get them started in the program. And like I said earlier, with another show with Meredith, if you've seen that episode, that it's summertime. Summertime's a great time to take your time, go through the process, and have your kid ready for when school starts. How about that?
Exactly.
Yeah. So what's the phone number here if you just want to call and start getting ready for the APEX program?
478-275-6850.
Everybody knows the phone number. I asked Meredith like 4 or 5 times in the same segment, so she knew it. So call that number and ask to get started, and we can help with your children's behavioral challenges within the school system, okay? So that is the easiest way to start the services. There's not a window of specific services that we only help with. We can help with big issues, we can help with small issues, we can help with something that might be a week or two worth of struggles, or if this is something that your baby's going to need attention for the rest of their school career.
Right.
Okay? So if that's the case, so if somebody's parents are divorced and they're having to live in a new house, do we help them with adjustments?
We do.
If somebody's kid has cocaine in their book bag, do we help with assistance?
We do. We help with all that. Anything that's dealing with that child, we help them with that. Even if they don't even have any food in the house, we still help them with that.
What if Meredith has shared with us about how we even have some financial support to help with cleats for a baseball team?
We do. We I will find out what the child needs, and I'll go to Walmart and get anything that they need. Get the sizes that they need, and just go out there and get whatever they need for whatever sport they want to be in, or if they just need some school clothes, we do that.
We talked a little bit earlier with Meredith about the idea that a kid being on a ball team helps with their behavioral health challenges. If they're not sleeping at night, if they just went out there and played on the ball field, they'll sleep better. If they're having to follow rules within a game, then they're learning discipline.
There are.
So that's why I want to make a big point that our ways of giving therapy is not, you're wrong, you're right, you did good, you did bad. It's, let's go join a t-ball game, let's go take a dance class, or let's go grocery shopping. I bet you could teach kids how to budget money, and you do stuff like that too?
I do.
What do you not do? Oh my goodness.
I even demonstrate and show them how to properly take a bath if they need help with that. Sometimes we have kids where they have anger issues so bad, and you'll think that it wouldn't work, but just sitting down and talking to them and reading different types of passage to them that helps them, that motivates them. That also helps them to look at things differently in life, and they end up going down the right path instead of the wrong path.
Can you give me an example of a story of somebody for our viewers to understand a little bit more of what you do? Maybe an example, a circumstance that's happened recently.
Well, we had a kid that was going down the wrong road, and he was doing drugs, which he lied multiple times saying that he wasn't doing drugs, but he was. He was very disrespectful to his mother, did not want to stay home, just leave the house and just go stay with some friends. And in his words, he felt like he wasn't getting any love from home, that he get the love from his friends, so that's why most of the time he left, up to the point where he got placed in an alternative school, grades going downhill. Then he ended up still missing days from the alternative school because he was out in the streets. So that's one of the cases where you do all you can, and then next thing you know, DJJ end up taking up the rest of the part. Because once they step in, ain't nothing you can do anyway.
Yeah.
Besides keep motivating, trying to motivate the child.
So, I mean, there's some things that the community can do there. If you see an Apex worker or a therapist or people who are helping to support children, it's a hard job, isn't it?
It is.
So we have
It
good
is.
stories and we have bad stories, and we are successful sometimes and
Right.
sometimes we're not. Can you share a little bit about how you coordinate with the therapist and with the teachers and tag team and everybody's on the same page? Do y'all have meetings?
We do. We have meetings where we go to the schoolhouse and we talk with the teachers and let them know what's going on with whatever child that may be having some major issues going on.
Can the parents sit in on those meetings?
They can. They most definitely can. Right. And if they can't, sometimes we'll get them on speakerphone, place the phone in the middle of the table so that they can hear what's going on and what's being said and whatever decision that us and the principal has made.
I think that's beautiful to think that if you can't be there, we'll at least put you on the phone, because parents are vital to help with the behavior challenges for the children.
Right.
So I think it's a beautiful picture on how we can work together and how we address the needs for our children.
Dublin Ford Lincoln is honored to call many wonderful people our friends. Bubba and Jan East are some of those friends.
I wanted to take my time, and when you put that kind of money into a vehicle, I wanted to get what I wanted. I didn't want any outside influences, and I felt like they allowed me to do that. I took my time and found what I wanted, and then they helped me get what I liked.
Others call you customers, we call you friends. That's Dublin Ford Lincoln.
My biggest struggle with all these programs is knowing what all these acronyms mean. Apex, what is Apex? I was like, all people, excellent. I don't know no word that starts with X, but xylophone. So I started trying to figure it out. I was asking a bunch of people, what does this mean? What does this mean? Apex, it's going to be like a light bulb. Give me a light bulb. Ding. Apex is a, math teachers, a triangle with home and school. And the triangle, the top of a triangle is the apex of the triangle. Behavioral health. So all three, home, school, and behavioral health services, is a triangle, is how we help address the needs of holistically for the child within the school system. So I think that's really neat, and that'll help you remember what APEX means, because it's the tip of the triangle. And if all the math teachers out there, if I'm wrong, then I need to be corrected, because I have tried to learn and figured out that APEX is the top part of the triangle. So within the home and the school with behavioral health needs, your child will have these skills and the support to be successful in their lives. All right, we are here with the Connie Smith. Not Connie Smith, but the Connie Smith. Connie, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. So I want to make sure you see this woman's face. Know her name, Connie Smith. She is going to be the one to contact you, right? We talked about if a parent needs help with their child, you can talk to your teacher or your school counselor, and then coordinate it with them with the intake form. And then, aren't you the next person they'll talk to?
I am the next person to talk to make sure they get into the APEX services.
And okay, well, when you talk to them, what are y'all gonna talk about?
Well, my job is to make sure that they get set up for an intake, get all of your history, background, information on different problems that kids may be having or that parents may be having, things that are going on in the school. And then my next job is to make sure that they get assigned to a therapist there in the school.
Like Martavis?
Like Martavis at the
Or like
Dublin
Valerie?
City Schools. Valerie is one of our CSI workers.
Now, I've tried to explain to them, we only talk to one therapist and one counselor, but we are in so many schools within our 16 counties.
Right, within our 16 counties, we're in a total of 60 schools right now.
So I was right, 60.
Other counties have been asking about our services, but we are in 60 schools right now. We have therapists as well as CSI workers in all of those schools.
Wow. And you talk to every parent before to get them started?
I don't talk to every parent.
Oh,
I
you
do
got a
my
team.
best. I have a team.
Okay.
A team is a team approach. That's a lot of talking.
Yeah.
But we have a scheduler. We have an intake worker as well who gets those scheduled for us. So.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Connie. Thank you for what you do.
You're welcome.
Thank you for helping our babies within our community.
You're welcome.
Okay, is there anything specific that you want to make sure the community knows that is going on, or a specific step that needs to be, make sure it's addressed?
The main thing is, if you see that your child is having issues, don't run from it, okay? Because behavioral health is broad. A lot of times when people hear the word mental health, they run.
Right.
But I just want you to know that we all have behavioral issues, whether it's grief, whether it's anxiety, whether it's anger, whether it's aggression. We all have things that we want to deal with. And just make sure that if you're noticing anything in your child, make sure you go out and get that child some assistance.
And do you know the phone number that you're supposed to call to get services started?
Please call 478-275-6850.
I love everybody knows the phone number. Thank you, Connie.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll be back after these messages.
What makes Medical Park Pharmacy and Tomlinson Pharmacy different than the big chains? People. You'll see friends and neighbors on both sides of the counter. We go the extra mile, and you can always count on compassion and professionalism. If you hate going to your big chain pharmacy and waiting, then come to Medical Park Pharmacy, 2406 Bellevue Road, or Tomlinson Pharmacy, 108 Rose Street in downtown Dublin, where your prescriptions are filled in minutes, not hours. Save money and time at Medical Park and Tomlinson Pharmacies. Our family, caring for your family.
All right, we're back, and we have Connie Smith, the Connie Smith, with us today. And she works with our APEX program, but I want to make sure we've talked about community collaboratives and how we work within our community. Did you know that Connie Smith is also what's your title?
Executive Director
Of
for Family Connection.
Family Connections. So you might have heard of Family Connections. Tell us a little bit about what Family Connections is and how it kind of intertwines with your work here at Community Service Board.
Family Connection is your community's collaborative where we sit around the table with state partners, local agencies, government agencies, your civic organizations, your state organizations, and we look at the different issues that are facing our children and families in Dublin, Lawrence County. And we look at and try to see what programs are already in place and what we need to do to combat those issues.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. We have to develop a 5-year plan, 3-year plans to combat that. And we look at the different programs. Sometimes the programs are currently working and sometimes they're not. So we have to look and see what can we do to improve those programs because we want to make sure that those benchmarks are headed in the right direction.
Right, and I want to make sure people, our viewers, know that Family Connections, there's a Family Connections in almost every county.
Yes,
So
there's a Family Connection in every county in the state of Georgia. Just look for your local Family Connection coordinator. You can go to www.gafcp.org and you can find your community's collaborative.
Yeah, I go to a lot of them. And some of the topics are literacy.
Right.
Some of it's food. What's some other topics?
High school graduation rate,
Okay.
truancy rate, as Renee said, the literacy rate. We also look at birth weight, low birth weight of our kids.
So you see how behavioral health is kind of intertwined within some of the community of things, and Family Connections is one of those. So if you want to volunteer or work with or be part of Family Connections, that is a great idea. And while I've got you here, she's a hard person to get a hold of. I want to make sure that are there needs within your job or with CSB or your job with Family Connections that the community might want to be a part of that they could help support you?
We're always looking for volunteers to assist with our program. At Family Connection, we have an after-school program called the BOSS Project. And with that, we're serving now right at 100 kids in our program. It is free to those kids who meet the income guidelines, and so we are always looking for volunteers to assist, because that's a lot of kids. We serve kids from ages 5 all the way up through 18. We recently moved, so we are over at the Stubbs Gym, and the office over next to it, that's where we are now. That's where you will find us. But like I said, we need a lot of volunteers. So if you want to volunteer, please stop by Stubbs Gym and just see Miss LaTanya Brown.
What about youth groups or Sunday school classes? Would they be some that could volunteer?
Yes.
What kind of people? Sororities?
Yes. We have some teens who are volunteering as well. They want that community service hours, so we have those teens working. We divide kids up based on their ages, so we do a lot of art with them. We do educational, we do tutoring. We do reading, we do a lot of different enrichment activities as well as physical activities.
So again, see how with partnering with people within the communities, we're able to address their needs with Family Connections and even find kids probably within those programs that might need behavioral health.
Right.
That blends into our Apex program and helps get them in Building 4. So we are a tag team. We're a holistic approach, and we want to, as Marnie has shared, wrap ourselves around children to love them, support them, and help them become productive members of society when they get older. So if you want to help with Family Connections, here is the Connie Smith. When your child signs up for Apex Services,
Ask them about Family Connection as well.
Look, so we love our community partners, and we're thankful that you are a part of our program and love on our community like you do.
Thank you.
Thanks, Connie.
All right.